Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. We have week two picks. It is here. Week two picks. Week one's now done. Week one's out the door. Week two coming in. As we always do these videos, we start with shockers of the week. So
Yes, sir.
I will get us started off since Srbensky went first last week. Once again, it's just me and Srbensky. We don't have Sam. We don't have Calvin. I do have Sam's
Our,
picks. I do have all of Sam's picks. As far as I know, we don't have Calvin's yet, so I'll have to put those on the Instagram page.
yeah, we should be getting them. We should be getting them next week. It seems like Mondays work for most people, but with a holiday being this Monday, we're recording on Tuesday instead. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna get us started, and I'm going to be taking us to Akira Field and Pittsburgh, as I am taking the Pitt Panthers, who are surprisingly the underdog, to knock off the Tennessee Volunteers.
yeah, I like Tennessee, but I'm surprised they're favored.
Yeah. In this game, I mean, this is again a spoiler. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm really surprised to see though that the Pitt Panthers are, an underdog at their home field. I mean, Tennessee, in my opinion, as you probably saw in the last video, I'm not a Tennessee fan. I don't like the Volunteers team. But really, to favor Tennessee, I mean, I could see maybe favoring Tennessee by maybe 1 point. I could definitely see that, but to favor them by nearly a touchdown is really high, and so I'm very surprised by that one. I think this will be a decent game, but definitely give me the Pitt Panthers in this one.
Also, for
Um,
last week, none of our shockers hit, though I think mine was the closest.
Yes, because I
I had
had
West
Notre
Virginia,
Dame and Ohio State, and
West Virginia.
you had West Virginia, you had Pitt, you
We were
had.
pretty close. We were pretty close. It was pretty close to that one, but nobody's hit yet. I'm gonna go sicko. I'm gonna go a little sick. I'm gonna go a little sick with this one. Give me. They're hitting their win total. They're hitting their win total this weekend, baby. Give me the Vanderbilt Commodores 13-point dogs at home against number
Ooh.
22 ranked Wake Forest. Do I think they're gonna win? Probably not. But will I take a 13-point underdog at home? Yes, I will. I don't really see any ones that are better than this. 13 points is a pretty nice spread, and it's definitely a pick of a super dog. An underdog. That's definitely good. So we can't call it super dog. That's going to be copyrighted. Our shocker.
Hmm.
So I will take the Vanderbilt Commodores as my big shocker against Wake Forest.
All right, and so I'll just copy and paste because that is exactly what Sam is going with. He has
Yeah.
the Vanderbilt Commodores heading at home against the uh, Wake Forest Demon Deacons as well. So I will just copy and paste, making it really
Let's
easy on me.
go. Let's go. Let's go. I was like, he might actually pick that one. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Let's go. All right, that's good. Also, before we start our picks, everybody's favorite segment, your cheapest ticket of the week. I'm seeing a couple $7, a couple $6. You can go to Mississippi, Arizona. Mississippi State at Arizona for $7.
Wow.
Might have to buy tickets to that. Honestly, might have to buy tickets to that. That'd be fun. I just drove 2.5 hours though north. I don't want to drive 2 hours south again for a game. I know we also saw Washington at home against Portland State. You can get tickets as low as $7. And the cheapest game, I think I saw a couple $6, but the cheapest game will be Duke at Northwestern for as low as $6. Ryan Field always has cheap tickets, so if you are a Northwestern fan, you are in luck because you can go for stupid cheap every single week. And I would assume, if I can find it, I would assume, is it a late game? Is Texas Alabama a late game? I'm just curious to see how expensive that is.
It's a noon game.
It's a new. Oh, okay. I'm curious.
Big noon Fox.
Wow, you can go to that game as low as $15 actually. Texas fans don't want to show up to watch their team get beat down, probably.
Seriously? 15?
Yeah, it's cheap as $15. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
All right, though. Let us get into the picks. It looks like our first game is actually going to be Mississippi State at Arizona.
Yes, it
Ooh,
is.
Mississippi State at Arizona. What is this game going to be? Where's the Pac-12? Here's the Pac-12. Mississippi State at Arizona. Arizona at home is an 11-point underdog. That would have been a good pick for a shocker too. That might have
So
been a good pick for a shocker too.
I believe last week it was me first, or was it me? No, it was you first. So I'll go first this week. Well, let's kind of alternate, I guess.
I'll
Why
just
not?
I'll say the games and then you can go first.
Yeah. So starting with Mississippi State on the road, taking on the Arizona Wildcats. I think this will be a close game, especially seeing Arizona last week. But Mississippi State, I think, is the better team, and I think while it's still, I think will be close. I do think Mississippi State should come out with the win. I think they will. They'll prevail in this one. It
Yeah,
will be a decent contest, but I think it'll still be a good win
I mean,
for.
yeah, Mike Leach was still coaching when Jake Delora was there, right?
Yeah,
So he back.
I think he was there. There when he
I'm pretty
was.
sure because I think Jaden Delora was like a four. I think Jaden Delora is like a fifth-year senior. Like I think he transferred for a final year. I think he was there for like 4 years. I knew he was there for a bit. I think Mike Leach coached him. I don't fact me. If he, I think Mitch is fact checking that right now. If he did, I mean that's a huge advantage right there. Mike Leach knowing the quarterback. I think this will be a close game. It'll be a fun game. I was way more impressed in Arizona by Arizona than I thought I would be, but I will give Mississippi a slight edge on this one just because I think Mike Leach is a good coach, knows the guy, and it's an SEC team, so they have SEC talent. So give me Mississippi State in that one, but I will be watching.
All right, and Sam is also taking Mississippi State. We don't have Calvin's picks yet. If you
All
want to
right,
see his, they'll be on the Instagram when we do get them.
they'll be on the Instagram here now that once I know Calvin's picks. Anyway, we are going to two of our shockers of the week. We are actually going to be going to Vanderbilt, and where the Vanderbilt Commodores will be taking on the 23rd ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Wake Forest is a 62% chance to win and is a 13.5 point favorite. What do we make out of this game?
I don't really know much about the Commodores other than obviously the fact that they blew out Hawaii on the road 63-10 and that they nearly lost to Alon, only winning 42-31. So we've seen two versions of Vanderbilt. We've seen a version of Vanderbilt that we have never seen, and then the version of Vanderbilt of which we're all used to. So I don't know which version is going to show up for this game, but I think Wake Forest is still a good team, and I think they should come out with a win on the road. Obviously, that's two of the shockers this week, or out of the four. We don't know what Calvin's is yet, but I'm taking Wake. They're obvious, in my opinion, they're the better team. At least they should be the better team. And it is a road game, so it could be interesting, but I still have Wake Forest taking it, continuing their undefeated season, I guess, still, because they're 1-0.
Exactly. All right, we move on to our next game of the week. We've got the
You haven't made
Duke
your
Blue
picks
Devils.
yet.
Oh, you're right. I'll take Wake Forest. I forgot I didn't make my pick. Yeah, I'm taking Wake Forest. I know I picked Vanderbilt in my upset as my shocker, but I don't always have to pick my shocker to actually win the game. So I think Wake Forest is a better team, and I think they'll probably beat Vanderbilt. But you know what? It's a 13-point line, and it's on the road, so that's why I picked it as my shocker. But give me the better team.
And
But now,
Sam is
for Sam's
also
good pick.
going with Wake Forest. So Demon Deacon sweep so far
There we
for us
go.
all.
And now we move to Northwestern taking on the Duke Blue Devils at Ryan Field. Northwestern has a 69.9% chance to win. They are favored by 9.5 points. Over under is 58. Mitch, who do you got in this one?
I'm not gonna waste time here. I'm taking Northwestern. After seeing their game against Nebraska, I know Nebraska looked awful against what was it, North Dakota? Yeah, North Dakota. They did not play well against North Dakota, but seeing Northwestern in Ireland playing pretty well against Nebraska, this Northwestern team looked honestly decent. I mean, their defense looked okay. Ryan Helinski looked really good against the Cornhuskers, and well, Duke is Duke. They don't play. This is not a football team. This is a basketball team. They don't care basketball college. They don't care about football. Northwestern is also at home for this game. I'm going with the Big Ten team here to get the win at home.
Yeah, same. Um, yeah, I don't really think that. Ryan Olinsky looked a lot better than I thought he was going to. I think Northwestern's a better team out of a better conference. So.
And we have a clean sweep as Sam also went with Northwestern to win at home.
As we go to our next game, we've got Appalachian State at, I believe, now number 6 Texas A&M, correct?
Still number 6, but yes.
For some reason, I cannot find it on my sheet to save my life. Here it is. We have Texas A&M is an 82.5% chance to win against the Mountaineers. It is an 18-point favorite, and the over/under is 52.5. What do you make of Texas A&M versus App State? The bad offense, good defense team versus the terrible defense, amazing offense team.
App State obviously against North Carolina that was an offensive shootout, and North Carolina prevailed by 2. But App State's team is obviously solid. I mean, they're a solid team. The defense looked terrible. But Texas A&M, I mean, that game that they had against Sam Houston, defense looked awesome. The offense was a little I will give Texas A&M the benefit of the doubt since there was a lightning delay for like 2 hours in the middle of that game, as well as it being rainy. So that could have played into the poor play offensively. I think this will be a pretty easy game, or it should be a pretty easy game. But I'm going with Texas A&M in this one. App State's not going to be able to put up 61 on the Aggies at Kyle Field. They might be lucky to get 17. So I am going with Texas A&M in this one. I think the Aggies will show the country why they've gotten as much hype as they have this year.
Now, this next one's going to be a fun one. This one's going to be tricky to pick, I think, for a lot of people. We've got number 25.
You keep forgetting to make your own pick.
I forgot. I thought this one was obvious. Texas A&M.
All right. And we also have Sam taking the Aggies. So once again, clean sweep. Now you can go into the next one.
Now I can go to the hard one. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. We got the number 25 Houston Cougars, who eked out a win last week against the UTSA Roadrunners, going on the road to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Texas Tech has a 65.6% chance to win, according to FPI, but the spread is at a solid pick 'em at a 2.5, negative 2.5 favorites. A lot of scoring expected. 65.5 is the over/under. What do you make of this game?
Interesting matchup. Houston dropping down one spot in the top 25 after a duel with UTSA on the road, winning in triple overtime, 37-35. Now they head on the road again as they stay in the state of Texas to take on the Red Raiders. This Texas Tech team, I mean, if last season's any indication, they're not very good. But I think it could be a decent game, but I am still gonna go with Houston. Their team is a solid overall squad. Texas Tech definitely still has work to do. I mean, it's a road. Like I said, it is a road game, so I think it will still be a close one. I don't think it's gonna be as close as UTSA though. I think Houston should win this one at least comfortably. I'd give them a 10 or 14 point edge.
Yeah, I mean, I was very impressed with Houston last week. Again, it was the same thing with like Ohio State. Like, I was very impressed by them winning a close game tightly. I am very impressed with that. That being said, how much different is Texas Tech this year? I don't think they've changed very much.
Not really. They're pretty much the same team.
Pretty much the same team. That same team beat Houston last year on a neutral field, 38-21. I'm going to take an upset. I'm going to take that. Wait, I'm not even taking an upset. You're taking an upset. I'm taking an upset as far as the rankings, but technically Texas Tech is the favorite. So, I
Hmm.
mean, I guess I would kind of consider it an upset. I will take Texas Tech in this one. I think it'll be very, very fun, very high scoring, very close. I think like a 30s to 40s game. I think both the quarterbacks are really, really good. I would not be shocked to see Houston win. It's the same thing with UTSA Houston that I had last week. It's like I would not be shocked to see UTSA win. I think Houston will win. This time, I think Texas Tech will win, but I would not be shocked. This is going to be a very, very fun game. Very excited to watch it, but I will take the Texas Tech Red Raiders in this one.
All right, and if I am correct, that is the same case for Sam. It is. He is taking Texas Tech
Okay.
as well.
I
Um,
mean, I think it's going to be a fun, close game. So, and
yeah.
now we've got the newly 10th ranked USC Trojans going on the road to take on Stanford. USC is favored by 74.6%. They are a 9-point favorite. Obviously, last year they had a very embarrassing start to the season by getting blown out by Stanford. Um, do you see that being the case this year with the new team, or do you see the 9-point line as insanely disrespectful? Because I kind of see the 9-point line as pretty disrespectful.
That is exactly my thinking. I will say this about USC, well, about Stanford. They have had USC's number for a while. I mean, obviously they have knocked off USC multiple times, multiple upsets. That was last regime, and that was the Clay Helton era. Insert Lincoln Riley. It is a road game, so there is that part to this. But this USC team is not the same team that played Stanford last year. This team is a much different team. It is completely different. You got Travis Dye, you got Lincoln, or not Lincoln Riley. Well, yes, Lincoln Riley,
You do have
but
Lincoln Riley. He's not playing, but
not playing. Yeah, he's not playing, but they do have Lincoln Riley. Uh, um, um, why can't Caleb Williams? There we go. Caleb
yes, there you go.
Williams, of course. You got Jordan Addison. You got Mario Williams. You got Brendan Rice. You got transfers on the offensive line. You got Demanny Jackson on the defensive end. They have players. They have good players. Fine. Last season, I mean, this isn't like Texas where they just get overhyped every year and they don't have anything to really back it up. USC does. They have good players. There's a reason that this team should be getting some respect because they have it. They have good talent. I mean, that's mostly from Oklahoma, but they have good talent.
They're
but
Oklahoma 2.0 plus Jordan Addison.
but yeah,
Travis
I'm
Dye.
really surprised that USC's only. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as surprised. I only see them just like a 10.5 point favorite because of the amount of times that Stanford has continued to beat them.
It's only a
So,
9. Yeah, at least on Instagram, at least on ESPN for Caesar Sportsbook, it's only a 9-point favorite. 9 solid. 9, 10.5.
so I'm still going with USC though. I think
Oh yeah,
they get the revenge that they've been wanting so badly, and they blow Stanford off the floor.
yeah. Everything that he said, USC. I think 9. I'm not even the hugest. I mean, I think USC is really good. I'm not the hugest. I'm not as big of a USC fan as him. I obviously don't like USC because I'm an ASU and U of A fan. But yeah, I mean, USC is gonna roll them. Like that's pretty easy.
Yep, and that's exactly what Sam went with too. Up next, what we got?
We've got the number 19 Wisconsin Badgers at home taking on the Washington State Cougars. Oh, wow. Wisconsin is a 92.9% chance to win, and they are 17-point favorites. Over under is 49. What do you make? What do you make of them?
Well, I thought it would be a decent game until I saw Washington State against Idaho. That's all I really have to say here. Braylon Allen
Yeah,
is a fantastic running back. They also have another good running back in Ches Maluzzi, a transfer from Clemson. So they have a good 1-2 in the running back room. No one really cares about Graham Mertz.
he looked decent. He looked decent last week. Granted, it was against Illinois State, but he played pretty. He played pretty well last week.
But this Wisconsin team is really good on the offensive line, as they always are, and they have a great running game. That is what's going to blow Washington State off the floor. Give me Wisconsin big.
Yeah, same. I would have like exactly like you said. I would have made it a lot closer of a game if it was not for the fact that Washington State looked really really bad.
Against Idaho.
against Idaho. All right.
And
What's Sam's
that
pick?
is also what Sam has. So once again, it seems we're all just kind of going the same thing except for that Houston game. So up next, what we have?
We have the Virginia Cavaliers at the Illinois Fighting Illini. It will be at 1 o'clock p.m. Oh, I keep forgetting I'm in Mountain Time. It'll be 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Illinois actually has a 66.4% chance to win, and they are 4.5-point favorites in Champaign against the Virginia Cavaliers. Who do you got?
I have no idea why Illinois is favored in this game. Give me Virginia big.
I know.
This is not. Illinois is at home. I get that part of it, but
They have Tommy DeVito.
well, it's not even really that. I watched them against Indiana. Even though they outgained, played Indiana in every single facet. They kept throwing the game away, turning it over, just dumb stuff. I mean, they looked terrible because they had the game in their hands and they kept giving it away to Indiana until they finally just gave it all the way away. So I am not big on Illinois. I love Brennan Armstrong. That was a very good quarterback. And I know Virginia didn't look great against Richmond, but are we really going to sit here and say that Illinois would either?
It's week one. It's week one. I'm always a little bit more lenient on week one if it's decently close throughout it, because a lot of teams in week one have a bad first half because they're just getting back to football. You don't get a preseason.
Yeah, so I have Virginia big.
Yeah, same here. I have Virginia. I have Virginia. I think is my ACC coastal. It's between them and Miami, but I think I had them because they had Miami and Pitt both at home, just solely because of that. But yeah, I'm decently high in Virginia, maybe higher than I should be, but high enough to where they'll definitely beat Illinois.
Yeah, nah, that's exactly what Sam has as well. So we're all pretty much on the same boat here. Up next,
we actually have the Colorado Buffaloes at Air Force. Air Force is a 78.5% chance to win. They are 17.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 49. I don't think we're going to spend much time on this, but Mitch, who do you got?
Colorado got beat up pretty good at home by TCU, and Air Force is a solid team, and they're the home team. Colorado's bad. Give me Air Force big.
Same. Give me Air Force big. I don't really got much to say about that one.
All right, and this is going to be a very easy, clean sweep. I did change the order here, so next is actually Boston College on the road against Virginia Tech.
Oh crap! I gotta pull that up now. Wow, Boston College on the road at Virginia Tech. We have two of the more disappointing performers of Week 1 for the ACC. If you didn't watch our recap video, you should probably go watch that. That'll explain a lot. I for some reason cannot follow. There they are. Okay, it will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Virginia Tech is a 51.2% chance to win. They are favored by 3 points. Over under is 46. What do you make of this game?
Virginia Tech looked awful against Old Dominion. I mean, I didn't think I thought Virginia Tech wouldn't be great. I didn't think they'd lose to Old Dominion. That's embarrassing. I mean, the amount of stuff that they did in that game, they looked awful. Boston College, I expected to lose to Rutgers. I thought that would be a good game, and I thought Boston College would come up a little short. That's exactly what happened. Give me Boston College. I don't like this Virginia Tech team. Losing to Old Dominion is brutal, and Boston College played close with a Big Ten team. Give me BC.
I was thinking about taking Virginia Tech, but then I saw the quarterback line against Old Dominion. 21 of 36, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. I don't even know. He might not even get the starter this week. If you throw 4 interceptions against Old Dominion, I don't think you ever deserve to see the field again. I mean, I get Bo Nix throwing interceptions against Georgia, but 4 against Old Dominion. Yeah, give me Boston College. It's a pick-up game anyway, so give me Boston College, though.
All right. We don't have a clean sweep this time. Finally, as Sam actually took Virginia Tech at home. Not really. I mean, it can go either way, but VT at
Fair enough.
home for Sam.
And then
Uh,
we have the number 11 game is now the number 10 game.
well, I've changed it a bit, so
Oh,
I'll just go from
okay.
here. We have Louisville on the road against UCF.
Oh, cool. That's an opening game. Cool. That makes it very easy for me. All right, Louisville versus UCF. UCF is 78.6% chance to win after the performance that we saw last week. UCF is 6.5 point favorites. Over under is 61.5. What do you make of this game?
I thought this would be very competitive before last week. UCF, or not UCF, Louisville and UCF actually played last year. This is part of a home and home series. They played at Louisville last year. Louisville got a very late pick six to eke out the win at home against the UCF Knights. Louisville looked brutal against Syracuse. They got absolutely dominated in every facet. And UCF looked good in their home opener, so I'm taking the Knights at home. The bounce house gets loud. I got UCF taking the win on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm taking UCF. I mean, Malik Cunningham looked awful. And granted, I don't know if that's like Malik Cunningham looking awful or just see if Malik Cunningham comes out and balls out. I'm gonna feel pretty good. I'm actually gonna feel pretty good because that means Malik Cunningham looked awful last week. So yeah, give me the UCF Knights in this one.
All right, and that's exactly what Sam is going with as well. Up next, Missouri on the road
Okay.
against the Kansas State Wildcats.
Here we are. We've got Missouri at Kansas State. Kansas State is 61.6% chance to win. They are favored by 8 points. Over under is 57. Who do you have in this game?
Uh, Tough one, honestly. Both of these teams are
Are
not
mediocre.
necessarily. Yeah, both of these teams are are very average. Missouri, big time recruit out of like number 5 overall or something. Luther Burt Bolden. Don't know how he did in this first game, but Kansas State, of course. Skylar Thompson has graduated, so they bring in grad transfer Adrian Martinez.
You say have Deuce Vaughn.
They do. They do have Deuce Vaughn still. That is a very good running back. I really think this is a complete 50-50 game, though. I could totally see either one of these teams getting the win. As I mean, like we said, both of these teams are very average. Missouri winning their first game against LA Tech, 52-24. But Missouri's team, really all that they really have, that I know of, really is Luther Burden, who went 3 for 26 and a touchdown. So I'll take Missouri. I'll take the road team because I don't like Adrian Martinez.
Fair enough. I
I
don't like
don't like
Adrian.
Adrian Martinez. I'll go with
Yeah,
Missouri. I'll go with
fair
the
enough.
big time recruit.
I don't like Missouri. I don't like Adrian Martinez either. But I feel like Deuce Vaughn is the best player in this game. So I feel like I'll take the team with the best player at home to win this one. Though I'm not super confident. But I feel like I feel like Deuce Vaughn is the best player in this game. I feel like he can offset as long as Adrian Martinez doesn't throw more than 15 times. Because if you throw any more than 15 times, you might throw 3 interceptions.
Well, he threw exactly 15 times in the last
And he
game for
only
a
threw
total of 53
yards.
yards.
And no touchdowns against
Yeah.
South Dakota, an FCS team, which is not good. But I'll take Kansas State in this one, though. To be fair, I'm not very confident. It's mainly just banking off of a Deuce Vaughn. All right, who do you have now next?
All right. Sam is going with Kansas State
right.
as well.
Right,
So
Sorry.
I'm the only one differing there. I took Missouri. Considering I have a 2-game lead on the second place team right now, that doesn't make me comfortable. But we'll see. Yeah, so we did actually forget to mention the records. So for the first week of the year, I went 16-4. Serbensky went 14-6, and then Calvin and Sam both went 13-7. So those are the standings right now from the first week. Anyways, moving on, we have South Carolina on the road against the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Ah, crap. That was the one I picked. I thought that was gonna be the next one. So we've got the South Carolina Gamecocks on the road against the Arkansas Razorbacks. This makes it so much harder. I don't have time to prepare. I am just scrolling to find them. Aha! Found it. Against the 16th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, they have a 73.4% chance to win. Arkansas does. Arkansas is favored by 8.5 points. Over under is 53. What South Carolina beat Georgia State last week, 35-14, and Arkansas got a win against Cincinnati, 31-24. What do we make of this game?
South Carolina's team obviously has big transfer Spencer Rattler at quarterback, and they also got they got tight end from Oklahoma as well. So they got those two transferring over to South Carolina. That's really what their team is. Arkansas, of course, playing Cincinnati, getting that win, looking pretty good. I think this should be a decent game, but I think Arkansas will win again. I have the Razorbacks at home. I think it'll be kind of similar to their game last week against Cincinnati. I think it might be a bit bigger of a margin of victory, but I'm just going with Arkansas at home against the Gamecocks.
Same. Spencer Rattler didn't even look that good last week. He had more interceptions and touchdowns against Georgia State. So yeah, give me Arkansas pretty comfortably.
All right, and that is what Sam is going with as well. Up next is Srebensky's favorite team, Arizona State, on the road against Oklahoma State.
After that, it's the same. Favorite. I would say favorite team.
I was supposed to be sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute. All right, Oklahoma State is number 11th ranked in the country. They have a 78.9% chance to win this football game. They are favored by 11 points. The over/under is 58. What do you make of this game?
Well, Arizona State, obviously they have all the issues within the program, so I was curious how their first game would go when they were up against whoever it was. Oh, Northern Arizona.
they started really sloppy, but then pulled away late. But it was like I said in the last video, I was on campus while that game was going on, and they shoot off fireworks every time they score. They shot off maybe barely any fireworks in the first half. It was like 3-0 for a long time.
Yeah, and looking at obviously Arizona State's new quarterback with Jaden Daniels transferring out, or is it Jalen Daniels? Either way, he's transferring.
Jade.
It's Jaden?
Jade.
Okay, so Jaden Daniels transferring out, and instead they bring in former Florida quarterback Emory Jones, who went 13 of 18 for 152 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, he didn't really throw that much, and Arizona State's running game is what really destroyed Northern Arizona, as they combined for 49 carries, 267 yards, and 4 touchdowns, averaging 5.5 yards a carry. So they pounded Northern Arizona on the ground, including Emory Jones and the running back of Xavier Valade. I hope I'm saying that right. But this Arizona State team certainly has talent. And they head on the road to play Oklahoma State, who looked a little shaky against Central Michigan. Honestly, this wouldn't have been a terrible pick for a shocker, depending on what the line is. But, it's 11.
It's 11.
Can I change?
No, you didn't let me change last week.
Yeah, I won't.
No. To be fair, I feel like Tennessee Pitt's a 6. You're at least
exactly.
I feel like you're pretty confidently getting 6.5 points at least.
I should be, yeah. Anyways, for this game, I honestly think this will be close because I saw Oklahoma State last week and they didn't look the same defensively. They were very shaky against Central Michigan. I mean, they were blowing them out, and then they let them come right back into the game, let them get 44. I mean, that's a lot. And Arizona State, I mean, seeing that game against Northern Arizona, they can score. And so if Oklahoma State is not ready for Arizona State, this could be a very big upset. But I am going to stay safe and take Oklahoma State. But don't be surprised if Arizona State shocks a lot of people and gets to win here on the road.
I would be very surprised. Yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma Oklahoma State pretty comfortably. I don't know. It's just I just have bad feelings about this Arizona State team. And it's just nothing other than they just have a lot of inner turmoil. They did look. Oklahoma State looked shaky at some points, but they did get out 51-15 against Michigan, which is more points than Arizona State put up against an FCS. So I think if it comes out to a shootout, I would take Oklahoma State. So I'll take Oklahoma State pretty decently in this one.
All right, and that is also where Sam is going. And after this, it's all the same. I did not change any other ones, so this is the same order. Starting with Oregon State at Fresno State.
Cool. All right, that'll make it easy for me now. Let's go. All right, Oregon State at Fresno State. Oregon State obviously picked up a big win last weekend. Boise State. Oregon State is 52.2% chance to win. It is another spread pick'em with Oregon State favored by 1 point. And then it is a 61 over-under. Who do you got in this game?
Should be close. Oregon State showed that they are a good team playing at home against a solid Boise State team, and as I said in the recap video, turned them over 5 times, forcing 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles, making Hank Bachmeier look awful. And then they had to bring in the backup, and he didn't look very good, and he looked okay. I don't know how his quarterback rating is 74. That's his quarterback rating. He threw a pick. But Oregon State looked good. They forced a lot of turnovers out of Boise State, and their defense looked really good with their offense looking solid enough. They play on the road for this one. I think it should be it'll be a very good game. So this is definitely one to watch at night. I'm gonna go with the Beavers again. Take me Oregon State on the road. This Fresno State team is okay, and they still do have Jake Haener. So I wouldn't be totally surprised to see Fresno State get the win at home against a good Power 5 team. But I'm going with Oregon State.
I'm leaning the same way. I think their win was more impressive against a more impressive team. Not that Fresno State's not. They played pretty. They didn't blow out Cal Poly, which is kind of shocking. But Jake Haener was 36 of 42 for 377 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's really good. Well, I think they have the better quarterback, but I think Oregon State has the better defense, and I think Oregon State got to win in this one. So we'll be close.
All right, and Sam is taking the Fresno State Bulldogs to win at home. Good pick. Both are good picks.
Fair enough.
So up next, Pitt at home against Tennessee.
All right, we got Pitt at home versus Tennessee. It will be the 17th ranked Panthers versus the 24th ranked Volunteers. Tennessee is actually favored 54.1% chance to win. They are 6.5 point favorites at Caesar Sportsbook, and they are 6 over under. We already know where Mitch is going, but
yeah, you know who I'm picking for this one. I am taking the Pitt Panthers. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think there's going to be a lot of offense in this game. That's how Tennessee plays, and that's really how Pitt plays too. So I think it's going to be and it's going to be like a 50-40 game. I think there's going to be a lot of offense. But I'm going with the Keaton Slovis team. I'm taking the Pitt Panthers, especially at home. I think this is going to be definitely one to watch. 3:30 game Eastern time. Very fun one. Give me the Pitt Panthers, though.
Fair enough. I think Tennessee can make it really interesting just because I like Hendon Hooker a lot more than I like.
Slovis.
I don't know. I don't like Slovis very much. But it will be a very fun game to watch. I will take Pitt, the home team, in this one, just because they have more experience playing a better team and playing a closer game against a better team. So give me Pitt in this one. And I already know who Sam's taking.
Yeah, he's going Pitt as well.
Sam's a Pitt fan. Sam's a Pitt Panthers fan.
Yep, so he is.
Of course he's going to take Pitt. All right, now we go back to the swamp for a second big game in a row. We've got the Florida Gators, who have now jumped all the way up to the 12th ranked Kentucky Wildcats. I do not know if Kentucky still has those suspensions for this week. I'm not sure. But Florida has a 54.8% chance to win. They are favored by 4.5. The over-under is 52. Mitch, who do you got, even though I'm pretty sure I already know?
I love this Florida team. I like Florida. Personally, I'm a Florida fan. I love the Florida Gators, but I love this Florida team as well. They got a really, really nice squad with Anthony Richardson at quarterback. Looks like an NFL talent. You got Travis Etienne's younger brother, Trevor Etienne, at the running back spot. This team has talent all around. But Kentucky's not a pushover. This is a really good team. I love their quarterback. Will Levis is an outstanding quarterback. Never understood why Penn State refused to play him when Penn State had him. But of course, when they didn't play him, he transferred to Kentucky, and he's now turned himself into an NFL prospect. So I love Will Levis as a quarterback. The running game was really non-existent against Miami, Ohio, so they're gonna be all passing in this one. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be another close contest, but I am going with the team who just beat the number 7 team in the country. Give me the Florida Gators in a very close one again in the swamp. Expect it to
I
be
think
very loud in Florida. Another 7 o'clock game. Gonna be one to see.
I think it'll be very interesting. I think Kentucky will make it close. Their defense will make it close, but yeah, I got the home team in the Swamp. The Swamp is one of the bigger home field advantages in college football. I'll take Florida in that one. Close though.
Yeah, all right, and that's exactly what Sam has. He is also taking
Right.
Florida at home in the swamp. And
Fair enough.
next
Now
is a fun one.
we move to Kinnick Stadium where the Iowa Hawkeyes take on their rival Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa State's favored 58.5% chance to win. Iowa is favored in the spread. They are 3.5-point favorites, which is almost half of what they scored last week. The over-under is at a solid 40.5.
Under.
Mitch, who do you under by a lot? Under by a lot. Mitch, who do you have in this?
I really think this is going to be a great game though, because Iowa State Iowa games, it seems to be sort of like it's one of those rivalries where it doesn't matter how good one team is or how bad one team is, it just always ends up being a good game. And that was the case with Michigan Ohio State for a while until, well, this past 2 decades. But Iowa State and Iowa, there's a very good rivalry. The Cy-Hawk game, very fun. Once again, this is going to be a 4 o'clock game, only on the Big Ten Network, though. So I'm sorry if you're not in the Big Ten country, because you won't be getting it. But Iowa State, Iowa, always a fun rivalry to see. Before last week, I was going to pick Iowa, but now I don't know who to pick because of how ugly that Iowa offense looked. But Iowa's always beaten Iowa State, so I never know who to really go with. But Iowa, for me, if you look at their non-conference stuff, they always just start off very slow. Their first game never really looks that impressive, and then they just beat Iowa State. So this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm taking the Hawkeyes at home. And this is a home game. It's at Iowa City. I think Iowa State looked way better, but Iowa always has a slow start to the year. But they always play up to play Iowa State, their biggest rival, and they always look good. So I'm taking them to beat the Cyclones.
Yeah, it's always one of those games, man. It's always one of those games where Iowa just dominates. Not dominates, but they're always much better. I really did want to take Iowa State for after what I saw last week, but again, it's one of those rivalries that's just owned by Iowa, and I think Iowa will edge out a close win at Kinnick Stadium, even though it might be a 9-6 win.
9-6 win with 3 safeties.
Three
safeties and 1 field goal.
No. I want the game to end 4-0.
4-0.
4-0. Get the field goal this week.
Oh, have you seen there's some video of where, obviously the Big Ten is joining CBS, and so they're like, well, this is what the highlight reel would look like for this game on CBS. So they have like a little CBS logo in the corner, and the entire thing is just like all punts. It's just all punts. And then there's like the missed field goal I think they had in there at one point. But like half of the highlights is all just punts. It's funny. But
All
yeah.
right. Now who's Sam picking for this one?
Sam has Iowa State. So
Okay.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, fair enough.
We move to one of our bigger games of the week. The number 9 Baylor Bears on the road taking on the BYU Cougars. Excuse me. Baylor has a 57.6% chance to win, but BYU is favored by 3.5 points at home by Caesars Sportsbook. The over/under is 53.5. Where are you going with this one?
Baylor. BYU is a solid team, and they played on the road against USF. Had a long lightning delay before that game started, and they dominated USF. But this BYU team lacks a defense, and this Baylor team is really good. I like the Baylor Bears. They still have a solid team from last season, and so I like Baylor. I think they're going to be a top contender in the Big 12, and this is a future Big 12 matchup because BYU is joining the Big 12 soon. But I'm taking the Bears. I think it'll be close, but I think the Bears get the win here.
Yeah, same. I think I'll go with a better team in this one. So give me the Baylor Bears in this one. And what does Sam take?
Sam is, I believe he's going with Baylor. He is taking the Baylor Bears as well.
All right, and now we go to the game of the week. Sorry, the Alabama Crimson Tide, still ranked number 1 overall, will go to the Texas Longhorns. Alabama has an 81.1% chance to win, according to FBI. They are favored by 20 points is the spread, and the over/under is 64.5. So, where do you go with this one?
This is going to be an all-offensive game. I have Bama probably putting up about 60 and Texas putting up about 30. Give me Bama big. The Texas team...
You think the spread's about right at 20?
Yeah. This Bama team is unbelievably good, and Texas just does not have the defense to even contend with Alabama's offense. It's not going to be pretty. Give me Bama and what will be probably an embarrassment on the road against the Texas Longhorns. I hate to say it, but sorry, Texas.
Texas is much better. Texas is much better this year, but it's Alabama. It's Alabama. Bryce Young sleepwalks to 5 touchdowns. So, yeah. And, I mean, okay, it's a little skewed because he had a huge run, but, I mean, Bryce Young showed a bit of running, too. I mean, 5 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown on it. I think I forgot which one, but I know he broke one away that was really big. But yeah, give me his loan was only 25, so those are actually pretty even. So yeah, give me Bama. I'm not gonna overthink this one too much.
I wouldn't either, but Sam is also taking the Crimson Tide, and that does it.
That does it. That is week 2 picks. Thank you all so much for watching. It is going to be a fun week 2. More than that, this is our first full week of football with both the professionals and college on. So we're going to be making our NFL picks here shortly. But anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. But see you later.
Adios.